Hello and welcome people, this is your host Shrey. This is part number 3 of Figma Basics and Understandings. And in part number 3, we'll learn and understand the 3 features provided by Figma in the right hand side panel, that is design, prototype and inspect. So let's start with the part number 1, that is design. In the right hand sidebar you can see 3 tabs, design, prototype and inspect. These are the one which we will learn or understand the basics today. Our first part is design, and let me show you what does it work and how does it helps. Design basically helps you to add the CSS sort of properties or to give styling to your particular selected element or the frame. For example, if I create a frame number 6, then I can see X and Y coordinates, width and height, rotation angle from the center, corner radius, as well as different filled color property and stroke properties of the selected frame, that is frame number 6 in that case. We can even give a styling to multiple elements inside the frame. For example, we have created a rectangle 46 and we can see the corresponding styles in the particular design panel. We can even increase and decrease the width and height by putting focus or clicking on width in input element as well as in a height or in whatever property we want to change. So let's discuss each of them one by one. Property number 1. These are the properties which you can see they help to align the elements in a particular frame. For example, we can align center, right, left corner, right corner, top, bottom and so on. Next property is basically the coordinates, width, height and border radius. These are pretty easy to understand. X and Y are the coordinates and along the canvas. W and H are the width and height in pixels. 0 degree is the rotation angle from the center point, as well as angle and corner radius is the border radius. So next part is fill property. Fill property is basically filling a colors, choosing from the color picker. Once you choose and move around the color picker, you can see different types of color have been showing or been filled in our particular element. Also, inside the fill color picker, you can see a document color section, which is a list or sort of library of all our previously used colors. This is quite helpful because most of the time you don't have to remember which colors you have worked with or used in your previous designs. It's sort of a design systems library where you don't have to remember the values of the colors, you can just see the histories sort of thing to reuse your color. Next part is the stroke property. It's like a border you can create. Once you click on stroke, you can create the border. Since we have added border radius, we can also see a border radius. Let me increase the width and we can see black color border. Again, the unit of stroke is in pixel, so currently it's 10 pixels with black color border. And the next property is effect property. If we put in the center, effect property helps you to add the box shadow. For example, if I click on this right color icon, left side icon, I can see a drop down showing me a drop shadow. By increasing the value in X and Y axis, I can create my box shadow and I can even choose the color from the history of color pickers. So let me choose red color so that it can be seen clearly. And I can even choose the opacity of color and blurriness. So let me make it 50 and make a blurriness to 60. Yeah, that's good. So we have red color box shadow for our particular element. So effects panel help you to add a box shadow. And next and last is the export panel. By the virtue of the name, this helps you to export a selected element. In our case, we have selected rectangle 46, so definitely we can export rectangle 46, and inside preview mode, we can also see and cross-confirm which particular element we want to export. Also, from the drop-down menu, we can choose the exported extension in which form we want to export a frame or element. You can even export the frame also. If I selected frame number 6, I can definitely rename it and I can export it. Once exported, I can see all other elements inside the frame will get exported. Let me show you how. If I create another object like this, and like this. So if I choose frame 6, we can see in the preview mode, the entire frame will get exported with the 4 rectangle boxes. That's all about the export. This part is mostly used when all your design work is over and you want to see how does your design look in an actual device. Let me show you how. Let's say we have a frame, and the size of the frame is something related to iPhone 11 Pro Max. So let's choose iPhone 11 Pro Max so far, and let's create another screen similarly like this. So Prototype provides you two functionalities. One is to preview your particular design in an actual device, and next is to add the interaction properties. Interactions means to add on tap, on drag, on scroll kind of user event properties, so that you don't have to write an actual code in order to see how your device or your application will look in and feels in an actual device. Let me show you how. So we have frame 4 and 5, and in frame 4 let's have a button. So we'll add a button using this, and this button will simply tell that move to frame 5. Okay, so let me decrease the size of the text to 32. Okay, put it at the above the rectangle box. Similarly, we will create another box inside frame 5, and inside we will tell that move back to frame number 4. That's good enough. Let's add some of the color to our buttons, and once the color is added, we are good to go. So we have two frames, let's say, and now we want to see that one frame, how does that frame looks in an actual device. That's where the prototype helps us. So inside the prototype settings, if I select the frame, I'm actually putting a settings for my prototype frame. Once I click show prototype settings, I can see that frame number 4, in which particular device I want to see my frame number 4. In this case, we have selected iPhone 11 Pro Max, so my frame number 4 will be played inside iPhone 11 Pro Max. We can even change the background colors and so on. Similarly, we have to do these things with frame number 5 also. I click on show prototype settings and I'll choose the device. We are good to go. The next and last part is, once user click on this button, we want to move it to frame number 5, and once user click on frame number 4 button, we want to click it to frame number 4. Back again. So how we'll add it? We'll add it using interaction property. Once we click the plus icon of interaction, we're adding an interaction property. Inside clicking on tap or none icon or text, we can choose which particular interaction property we want to add. So let me select frame number 4 box. Let me add interaction property, and by adding on tap property, I'll want it to navigate to frame number 5. That's good enough. Once this arrow has been seen, this is where this particular frame will navigate to. Similarly, we have to add the same property with frame number 5 button. So I'll click on plus icon, again click on the tap text, I'll choose on tap property. Inside none, I want to navigate back to frame number 4. Hence, we are navigating back to frame number 4 once we click on this button. So I can see plus icon, which demonstrate that this particular frame will be played in an actual device, and in our case the device is iPhone 11 Pro Max. So once I click on the plus icon, I'm actually previewing all my design in an actual device. So it will take some of the time to load all the data, and then our design will be ready. I also told you that we have selected black color background, so whole background is black in color, and we can see a clean and neat iPhone device where my button is available. Also, if I click on the frame number 4 button, I am moving back to frame number 5, and if I click, I am moving back again. This is how the interaction on tap property works. Most of the cases, this is useful to add on scroll property, on tap, on drag, and so on. That's all about the prototype settings. The next and the last setting is the inspect. Okay, so the last feature inside right hand sidebar is inspect. Inspect is nothing much in detail, but it helps you to export out your CSS property so that you don't have to worry about copy pasting each and every individual property. For example, if I choose frame number 4, I can see all the CSS and edit the CSS using design panel. But if I click on inspect, I can view and read all the CSS property. Even I can copy paste this CSS property directly to my code so that I don't have to worry much about calculating the width, height or color value or even remembering it. You can even export it out or copy paste the code in iOS, where the language they have used is Swift, and in Android the language is Java. So you can get all your code in Java, JavaScript as well as in Swift language. This is basically CSS properties. So that's all about the inspect property, and that's all about the right hand sidebar or our part 3 about Figma basics and understanding.